only giving her false hope.
Can any of you hear me?
Abby, help us. Come find us. I will show you the way.
Oh no.
They're out there, Mike.
Where?
Everywhere.
Where are you gonna run to? I'm not done with you.
There's no way that'll work.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2 quickly became one of the most anticipated horror game sequels ever created, not only because of the legacy of the first game, but because it carried with it a new wave of atmosphere, characters, and lore that expanded the terrifying world of animatronics that fans had already grown obsessed with. From the moment players heard that a second installment was coming, expectations skyrocketed. People wanted a darker story, creepier mechanics, and fresh scares, and that is exactly what this game delivered in spades. At its heart, this sequel is not just another survival horror game, but an experience that digs deep into fear of the unknown and the paranoia of being watched in the dead of night. The overview of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 sets the stage for why it's remembered so vividly. It takes players back into the twisted world of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, but this time, rather than being a simple continuation, it reimagines the environment and doubles down on the psychological pressure. The game introduces a new location, a brand new lineup of animatronics alongside the old ones, and even more claustrophobic gameplay that keeps the player on edge with every passing hour. The sequel transforms what many thought would just be a repeat into something much more expansive and complex, pushing the horror genre to new heights and proving that simplicity can still generate immense fear when done correctly. The plot builds on the core premise, but evolves in a way that shocks both newcomers and seasoned fans. Once again, players take on the role of a night security guard, hired to monitor cameras and keep the establishment safe during the graveyard shift. But this time, the security guard is placed in what is described as a grand reopening of the pizzeria. It's meant to be brighter, more colorful, and safer, a way to refresh the reputation of the establishment after past incidents. Yet beneath the shiny paint and cheerful decor lies something far more sinister. The animatronics, advertised as safe for children and equipped with facial recognition software, are anything but harmless. They still roam freely at night, driven by unexplained forces, and the player soon realizes that survival depends not on hiding behind a simple door like before, but on mastering a whole new system of defenses. The introduction of the new cast of animatronics is one of the most notable aspects of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Where the first game only had 4 central figures, this time, there's a whole army of characters, each designed with their own mechanics, behaviors, and methods of attack. The game adds Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, and Mangle as redesigned, sleeker versions of the original crew. Their appearance is meant to be more child-friendly, but ironically, that makes them even more unsettling. With their wide, plastic smiles and glassy eyes, they create a false sense of safety that quickly turns into horror when they start moving through the building. Alongside them return the original Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, now dubbed the withered versions, decayed and broken shells of their former selves that are even scarier than before. The sheer variety of animatronics ensures that no 2 nights ever feel the same, and the constant unpredictability forces players to stay alert at all times. The central gameplay mechanic that makes Five Nights at Freddy's 2 stand out is the removal of the protective doors. In the first game, the player could at least shut themselves away from danger when an animatronic approached. Here, that comfort is stripped away. Instead, the game introduces a Freddy Fazbear mask that the player can wear to trick the animatronics into believing they are one of their own. This mechanic raises the tension to a whole new level because the mask is not a foolproof defense. It can only be used in certain situations, and timing becomes everything. Additionally, The player must keep track of a music box in the prize corner, winding it up constantly to keep a mysterious new character, the puppet, from emerging and ending the game instantly. Balancing the cameras, the mask, the flashlight, and the music box creates a frantic juggling act that perfectly embodies the chaos of trying to survive in this hostile environment. The lore hidden within the game also plays a significant role in its impact. While at surface level, the goal is to survive 5 nights, deeper exploration reveals a backstory of tragic events and dark secrets tied to the animatronics and the restaurant itself. Minigames hidden within the game begin to fill in the pieces of a larger mystery involving missing children, a mysterious figure known as the Purple Guy, and the reason why the animatronics are possessed. This weaving of subtle storytelling and horror gameplay makes Five Nights at Freddy's 2 not just a scary experience, but also an intriguing mystery that fans continue to dissect and theorize about. The cast of characters is more than just the animatronics. It also includes the faceless protagonist, the phone calls that guide the player, and the implied presence of staff and children whose stories are buried within the lore. The phone calls from the character known as Phone Guy add an eerie layer of exposition, giving players information that is both helpful and terrifying. He explains the safety measures of the new animatronics, the use of facial recognition software tied to criminal databases, and the purpose of the Freddy mask. Yet his calm, instructional tone only adds to the surreal horror of being trapped in the pizzeria with these monstrous machines. His presence, along with the silent security guard the player embodies, grounds the story in a way that feels immersive, as though the player truly is the one trapped in this nightmare. The release of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was a turning point for the franchise, launching it into mainstream success and solidifying its status as a cultural phenomenon. While the first game was a breakout indie hit, the second game proved that the concept had staying power. Released only a few months after the original, it shocked fans with how quickly it arrived, but the quality and creativity behind it exceeded expectations. The timing of its release added to the frenzy, as fans who had barely finished mastering the original suddenly had an entirely new challenge awaiting them. The speed of development became part of the series' legend, showcasing how much dedication and vision went into crafting these terrifying experiences. The trailer for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 played a huge role in building hype and remains one of the most memorable in gaming history. It teased the new animatronics with eerie close-ups, their unsettling designs revealed in flashes of light and darkness. The music box motif played over the footage, signaling the importance of sound in this new game. The puppet was glimpsed briefly, creating an air of mystery around this new antagonist. The tone of the trailer perfectly captured the balance of fear and curiosity, inviting players back into the world they barely escaped from the first time. Every detail of the marketing made it clear that this was not just a quick sequel, but a deeper dive into the terrifying world of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. What makes Five Nights at Freddy's 2 truly unforgettable is the way it escalates the horror compared to its predecessor. Where the first game introduced the concept of being hunted by animatronics, the second game amplifies it with more enemies, more mechanics, and more intensity. The feeling of helplessness is greater, the pace is faster, and the margin for error is smaller. Players are constantly balancing multiple threats, and the fear of forgetting one small task, like winding the music box, creates a constant state of anxiety. This tension is exactly what horror games strive for, and it explains why so many players found themselves both terrified and addicted at the same time. The design of the animatronics deserves special attention because it highlights the artistry of the game. Each character is crafted to embody a unique type of fear. The toys are uncanny with their overly cheerful, doll-like appearances, creating an unsettling blend of innocence and menace. The withered animatronics, on the other hand, represent decay and monstrosity, their broken bodies exposing wires and empty eye sockets. Then there's Mangle, perhaps the most disturbing of them all, a creature so damaged and twisted it looks like a nightmarish tangle of limbs and parts. Each design choice serves a purpose, ensuring that no encounter ever feels safe or predictable. Another remarkable feature of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is how it engages the player's imagination. Much of the horror comes not from what is shown, but from what is suggested. The dimly lit hallways, the grainy camera feeds, and the distorted audio all work together to create an atmosphere where the mind fills in the gaps. This subtlety makes the scares more powerful because they tap into primal fears of darkness, isolation, and being hunted. The game doesn't rely on gore or violence, but instead crafts a horror experience out of tension and dread, making it accessible to a wider audience while still terrifying enough to haunt players long after they've finished. The cultural impact of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 cannot be overstated. It not only cemented the franchise's reputation, but also inspired countless fan creations, from artwork and animations to theories and spin-off games. It became a shared experience among players, with people gathering online to discuss strategies, uncover hidden lore, and share their own interpretations of the story. The sense of community that grew around the game made it more than just a piece of entertainment. It became a phenomenon that united fans through fear and fascination. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 also laid the groundwork for the